Hey everybody, so we've got some quick news here on expected expansion in the NHL. The Board of Governors meetings are going on right now in Georgia, and Darren Drager has been covering them. He's there, he's been covering them pretty extensively. And yesterday he tweeted that no one would confirm this on record, but it is expected that Seattle is going to not only get a team but begin play in the 2021 season. So Seattle expansion is the big topic that they're talking about at these meetings, and it appears that Seattle is absolutely going to get a team. And Drager has said that the expected start year would be the 2021 season. Also, with Seattle entering the league, obviously Seattle's going to be in the Pacific Division. You have natural rivalry with Vancouver. You have, they're a West Coast team, right on the West Coast in Washington. They're obviously going to the Pacific Division. There's no other division for them to play in. So that creates kind of an issue because the Pacific Division already has 8 teams in it. The Central Division only has 7. You can't add Seattle to the Pacific Division and give them 9 teams and have the Central only have 7. You've got to even this out. Now, the biggest thing about adding Seattle that I'm a huge fan of is it evens out the conferences. It will give us 32 total teams, 16 in the East and 16 in the West. However, they also need to even out the divisions because you can't have 9 and 7. It's got to be 8 and 8. So Pierre LeBrun, who's also at these meetings and reporting on these meetings, he said last night that Arizona is likely to be moved to the Central Division. He says that they're not happy about it, and none of this is confirmed official yet. This is all just what their reports are coming out of this based on how the meetings have gone so far. But it seems like Arizona is going to be moved to the Central, and they're not fans of that, but the rest of the league is, and they're going to overwhelmingly vote in favor of that. So, when Seattle joins the NHL in the Pacific Division in 2021, this is what the divisions out west are expected to look like. In the Pacific, you have Anaheim, LA, and San Jose, the 3 California teams. You have Calgary, Vancouver, and Edmonton, the 3 Western Canadian teams. And then you have Vegas and Seattle being the 2 new teams. In the Central Division, you have Nashville, Winnipeg, Colorado, Dallas, St. Louis, Chicago, and Minnesota, the 7 teams that you have now in the Central. And then Arizona will be moved from the Pacific to the Central to make room for Seattle in the Pacific. So, how do I feel about Arizona moving to the Central? I think it's a move that has to happen because you can't have 9 and 7. And also, Arizona is the team to move. You don't want to be breaking up any major rivalries because those are obviously great games and even better playoff series. Arizona doesn't really have any super strong rivals. There's no team that I look at and go, wow, every time the Coyotes and this team plays, it's a great game, it's a rivalry, it's a nasty game. They don't have any super strong rivals. Vegas, you could have moved Vegas, but they just joined the league. You don't want them moving around already. They just joined the league. They're already developing actually pretty strong rivalries with the California teams. And when you brought Vegas into the league, I think part of that bringing them in was the natural rivalry between Vegas and LA specifically, but just Vegas and California in general. So you're not going to move Vegas, And the rest of the teams you can't move. You have the 3 California teams who are all super strong rivals with each other. You're not going to move one of them out of the division. And you have the 3 Western Canadian teams who are all super strong rivals with each other. You're not going to move them out of the division. And then you have the rivalry between some of the California teams and some of the Western Canadian teams, specifically teams like Anaheim and Calgary and LA and Calgary. Those are usually strong, games, in division rivalry games. So the only, you can't move Anaheim, you can't move LA, you can't move San Jose, you can't move Calgary, Vancouver, or Edmonton. So it came down to Vegas or Seattle. Vegas, you brought them in on the hopes of a Vegas-California rivalry, a Vegas-LA rivalry. Vegas is new to the league. You don't want to be moving them around already. So someone has to make room for Seattle. Arizona was really the only logical choice to move out of the Pacific Division. So while I'm sure Arizona's not super thrilled about getting moved into a new division, it changes the travel, it changes the schedule, it changes a lot of things. They were the only logical choice to move because somebody had to leave the Pacific to make room for Seattle. Again, you can't have 9 and 7. So that it just had to happen. So Seattle is going to be getting a team. Most likely start year will be 2021. They will be in the Pacific Division. Arizona is probably going to be moved to the Central Division. That is the news, the reports that I'm getting from very reliable sources, Darren Drager and Pierre LeBrun, out of the Board of Governors meetings. So those meetings are still going on. We'll see if anything changes. We'll see if any new information comes out, but that's what I've heard from them so far. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. The links to our Patreon page and merch store are also in the description if those interest you. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.